Alrighty, welcome to the kallzu SEO coaching call. Today is Wednesday, March 29th. Is that right? 29th? I think so. 2017. The 17 I got right anyways, I hope. Sometimes I don't. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started here. We've got a great call for you, and we've got a fantastic guest from our kallzu community who's going to be sharing some tactics on that. And it's going to be syndication on here and how you can use free online software, no upsells or anything like that, just a free online software, syndication, how you can help it in many areas, both with your private blog networks, increasing the link juice to that, the authority of it. And so it'll be a lot of value. So we're going to hang on to that. We'll get to that in a second here. I'm going to go over my ongoing case study of my paper called Niche. It'll be for our company. It's something we started, when was that? 5 months ago. And we really got off to a weak start. But since the last time I've shared, we've added 8 new cities with 8 new clients on there. And I'll go into that and we'll log into my kallzu software and show you that stuff in that. And kind of give you hopefully some motivation and a perspective of kind of what it takes to do this. And I'll get into that later on here. What I want to start out with first here is a really interesting study on how your friends actually make you fat on here. And then we'll get into questions and answers. So there's some really interesting studies out there, scientific studies showing on how your friends actually can make you fat, and it doesn't have to do with the obvious things that you may be thinking. You may be thinking, well, if I'm with my friends and my friends are eating Cheetos, then I'll eat Cheetos, or if they eat out all the time, I'll be influenced by that. It actually runs much, much deeper than that. And it all started back in the 1950s on here in a small town called Framingham. Framingham's a population of about 60,000, and they started this study back then, and they took these people over an entire lifetime and studied their habits, their friends. They were looking at the different aspects of it. But one thing that came out of it that was very evident was that your friends will directly influence and directly determine whether you're going to be overweight or underweight. And they've gone on to replicate this kind of study and look at it even closer in other parts of the country and the world on here. And this is what they've come up with. It's absolutely phenomenal on here. There's a 37% chance of being obese if your spouse is obese, okay? A 40% chance of being obese if your siblings are obese, and a 57% chance that you'll be obese if your friends are obese. And get this was really fascinating to me. And you may be wondering at this point, like, what the heck does this have to do with paper call and ranking? It has everything to do with it, so just hang on. There's a 17% chance of being obese if your friend's friend is obese, but your friend is not obese. Get that. Get out of here. So now this has been consistently done on here, so it kind of makes you almost kind of think to the point where, is obesity contagious on here? Is this kind of thing contagious? And do the same kind of stats run true with other type of behaviors, like if your friends smoke, or your friend's friend smokes, but your friend doesn't smoke, but your friend's friend smokes that you don't know, then is there still a 17% chance that you'll smoke? Is it like it's contagious on here? And the powerful truth of it is that yes, there's a 30% chance of you being happy if your spouse is happy. There's a 40% chance that you'll smoke if your sibling smokes. There's a 57% chance that you'll be rich if your friends are rich on here, there's a 17% chance that you'll be poor if your friend's friend is poor, but your friend is not poor. These same stats run straight across the board, regardless of whether we're talking about smoking, eating, your health, your income, all of that kind of stuff. So this was an interesting quote on here. In some sense, we can begin to understand human emotion, like happiness, the way we might study stampeding buffaloes on here. You don't ask an individual buffalo, why are you running to the left? The answer is that the whole herd is running to the left. Similar, you can see pockets of unhappy and happy people clustered in a network, meaning a city on here. That's the content that was taken out here, or in a population. They don't even know each other necessarily, but their moods rise and fall together. This is really fascinating stuff on here. To me it is. So your happiness, your health, your wealth are all contagious. We're all connected this way. You cannot disconnect from it on here. You know, I'm in, currently right now, and because of my kids and stuff, their activities and everything, we basically I stay in Spain about 6 months out of the year. I travel a lot, but my family stays the full school year, and then we leave. And one thing that I initially felt the impact of it on me when I came to Barcelona, and it's a wonderful city, don't get me wrong, it's an absolute wonderful city, but you know, they have, not necessarily in the tourist areas, but outside of the tourist areas, you know, there's the whole siesta thing. So basically from like 2 to 5 o'clock, everything shuts down. I mean, literally everything. Sundays, everything is closed. I mean, everything. Supermarkets, everything shut down the entire day. In fact, someone told me that, anyway, I'm not going to get that, but, and really people don't quite get to work until, you know, if work's at 9 o'clock, people don't really get to work till after 9 o'clock. And siesta starts at 2 o'clock, but it actually starts a little early. I mean, if you show up at a supermarket or something expecting to get something at, you know, 1:50, forget it. They've already taken off. Does it open right back up at 4 or 5 o'clock? No, afterwards. And then, whatever they do with that whole big time during the day, it's, you know, you go out with friends, you usually have a beer or a glass of wine or two, and then you go back to work, and you stay till 8 or 9 o'clock, and things pretty much shut down after that. It's very relaxed. Too much so for me. Getting high-speed internet. We got a new place this year, and we spend, or my wife does, she spends at least 1 or 2 hours per month going back and forth with the cable company to try to get the high-speed optical wires out to our home. And you know, we've been here since school started. This is months ongoing. When we first moved here, it took us 3 months to get internet even hooked up to our house. This kind of lazical kind of way does not jive good if you're an entrepreneur and you got a business and you're hustling. Not at all. It will literally slow you down. So I had to, knowing how environments affect you, I had to change my environment. Now, I couldn't change it physically, so I had to change it on every other level. I had to make sure that I stayed in touch with my mastermind groups. I stayed in even closer touch, that I was in constant contact with my good friends that are either in places I want to be, or we're kind of, you know, cut from the same cloth or same, you know, feathers on a bird, so to speak. You know, and that's easy to do with, you know, all the ways that you can communicate these days in the world, from apps and stuff like that. But I had to make an extra conscious effort to do it, to make sure that this environment did not slow me down, because I could feel it completely affecting me. I remember one of the last times I was in the U.S., which is a long time, and I have no interest in going back. It was at the Vegas event. So we had the Vegas event, that was going on, and we were running out of water. So obviously we're not going to drink the tap water. So I ran out to the store to get tap water, and then one that was closest by was a Kmart. And it was the most depressing thing in the world, just walking in there. I was like, whoa, I'm just getting here to get water. It was like, I had to shake that off. I mean, the type of people that they hire there, their whole mood, I mean, everything. I'm just like, oh, I got to get out of here, you know. Anyways, point is, we've all heard this before. You know, you're an average of your 5 friends, blah, blah, blah. It actually runs much deeper than that. You are affected by not only your friends, the city, the neighborhood that you're in, on that, what you read, everything, your news, all that kind of stuff. You are affected by that whether you think you are or not. I mean, it really, really affects you. Even your friends' friends affect you on here. So, but the other side of it, which is pretty good, which came out of the study on this, was that for every chance, for every change that you make. So if you're out in the world and you're not preaching or anything, you're just the greatest change you can ever make is just showing up as an example, right? That's the greatest change you can make to others. You can't like tell others, you know, got to do this, you got to do that, because they'll just resist. It's like, who the heck are you? But if you show by example, like, whoa, that's really cool. I didn't know you could do that. Blah blah blah. That's really cool. How do you do that? That's completely different. If you're going through the world like that, you will influence, statistically, 1,000 people. You can really start changing the world that way. So it's a two-way street. You not only are you influenced by your environment, every single aspect of it, not just your friends, the city, the neighborhood you live in, and everything. This is why I always say for people, and there was a couple of people that actually contacted me in private and had decided to do this. I've always said this: if you can do it, fly business or first class. You're just you will it changes you. It changes your perspective on life and everything. The people at the checkout treat you differently. You don't have to go through the same long lines. You have a fast lane line. You just go through. There's no lines. They don't scrutinize you as much when you go through. You get to sit in the lounge, and the lounge is filled with, you know, anything that you want to drink, eat, or whatever. You can take a shower. It's not all busy and buddy. It's all relaxed. Everyone in there is different. They have a different demeanor about themselves. It's like a different world on that. Same with, you know, neighborhoods that you live in and all that kind of stuff. So if you can do that, it gets you over to that other side, because that other side's contagious as well. Alrighty, so it is so important to surround yourself with the right kinds of people. Rid yourself of toxic relationships. Don't put up with it. Work, friends, whatever. Don't just cut them out. You have to. You cannot let other people bring you down or prevent you. And all these things are almost kind of insidious. They're sometimes you don't realize. It's like, why am I so tired? Why am I procrastinating so much? Usually procrastination means that you don't want to do something. And you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? Does it have to do with your environment, with what you're reading, what you're listening to, the people and the friends that you're hanging around with? Absolutely so important. Which brings me to our Bangkok event, which is coming up. I'm going to be closing the doors down here in early April, because there's a lot that goes on in planning these. Food, events, all that kind of stuff. And this is a perfect time to get outside of your common environment, come in and be around other people. You're going to be around. We have 3 speakers, the kallzu community, that are absolutely crushing it. It's a small event, okay? So you get to rub shoulders and be around with these people. You get to hang out with William and myself for days, and it's good to be around everyone like that. It changes you, it really does. And plus, you're in an environment that 99% of the people there have never been in before. So you share that common experience together. And it really does open up a lot to you. Anyone who ever has attended these events, everyone who's attended the one in Barcelona, all of them just had nothing but great things to say about it. And a lot of it has to do with the environment, the country, and the people that you're there with on the end of it. There's no sales or anything like that. It's just purely all training, learning and doing. I've got a friend of mine who is a digital nomad. He runs agency kind of like I do, but he doesn't have he's not married, no kids and stuff, and he's for the past 6 years just traveling around, and he still does. He just happens to be in Thailand right now, and I said, hey, if you're going to be there in April, can you come share with the group? Because you got a lot of knowledge there. So he's going to be there sharing that. Interesting guy. Again, nothing to sell. Got nothing to sell you. Just learn. He's gonna. I said it's a workshop, so you gotta teach something of value that these people can use and do it while you're there. So no greater life-changing event than that, and making lifelong friends who are on the same path, heading in the same direction. Maybe some of them are a few steps ahead of you, right? And some of them are where you are, and maybe a few are a step or two behind you. You need a mixture of all those types of people in your life on that end of it, okay? You can't just be like always the dumbest person in the room and everyone's smarter than you. It doesn't work that way. Learning works best when you've got a mixture. You've got a mixture of friends and colleagues and people that surround you that are headed in the same direction you're in, but they're a few steps ahead. You got some people that are right at the same place where you are, and a couple that are maybe behind, and you help pull some up. You encourage each other that are where you are, and you're looking to learn for people that are ahead of you. Okay, so let me introduce our guest here. Let me turn off, get his mic going on here, and get started with that. Where is that? Oh, I lost it. There we go. Alrighty, so let's get to here to these. Let me get back on our screen here. Alrighty, so what you're going to learn here today from Mark is going to talk about syndication. He made a post about that in the Facebook group and how it can help you out. I contacted him on here, and he's going to talk a little bit about when you syndicate something, what it is, how it can help you. There's a free online software which is pronounced IF. It's just like gift, but without the G on that, and it stands for if this, then that. It's a super powerful online free software tool that you can use. There's no upsells or anything like that. It's just free. It's been around for a while. And our guest here has been able to leverage that to, at the end of the day, the end goal is bringing more of your sites to page one, and you can do it with this free tool on here. So, Mark, you there? Hello, hello. Alrighty. Hang on one second. We have some technical difficulties. Let me check and make sure that he's unmuted. We've got that end of it. Okay, we have lost him. Let me check my unmark. Alrighty.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
you're there.
Hi, Chris.
Perfect. We're glad you're back. What happened?
I'm not sure actually. I don't have a clue. But I'm glad I'm back.
No, yeah, me too. So, you shared a post in the Facebook group, the kallzu SEO, about syndication. I saw it. I thought, yeah, that's great. We don't do that, but I could see how could add tremendous value on that. But can you tell us what is syndication and what is this software tool on here that you use, and how do you use these tools to help out your business?
Sure. So IFTTT basically stands for if this, then that. It's a free online resource that lets you connect services together. So the services are called applets, and there are so many of them. One of the things you can do, for instance, is when you upload a YouTube video, you can save that to your Google Drive. So that's one of the good things you can do with it. And the other kind of aspect of it is syndication. So basically, syndication is taking a feed from a portion of your website and then distributing it to other sites. The main thing that I do with IFTTT is I basically created a social fortress around my PBN, and then I syndicate content out to those kind of properties whenever I create a new post. So I do that at a tier 1, what is classed as a tier 1, a branded tier. But you can extend that further to tier 2, tier 3. And as you can imagine, it's kind of building up even more authority the more tiers you add, but kind of just sticking at tier 1 for now.
So with the software on here, the online software, is it just ift.com? What is the website on that?
It is. It's ifttt.com.
Okay, I'm going to go to that, ifttt.com. And now this has a lot of different ways you could syndicate your content on here. Do you have some favorite ones that you like to syndicate some of your content to? So, for example, if you've got...
Yeah.
Okay, what are those? Because there's like 100
Sure.
or 200 on here, right? I mean, there's a lot of places you could syndicate it.
Sure. So the main two that I always start off with are Blogger and there's Tumblr. So I guess most of the audience is familiar with the Tumblr. So you can set up an RSS feed from your PBN to a Tumblr or a Blogger account. Then there are other more, I guess you would call social bookmarking sites. The ones I typically choose are Twitter, Delicious, Digo, and there's also sites like Evernote, where you can actually, every time you make a post from your PBN, it bookmarks in an Evernote account. So it's classed as a backlink, and it's it's a pretty good one. Actually, sorry, I meant to say, Chris, you can't post directly to. Sorry, I also do it to Google Plus as well, the syndication, but I do it through Buffer. So I create a Buffer account as well. So I syndicate from my PBN to Buffer, and then Buffer does a kind of post to my Google Post account.
So let's walk through this and make sure I understand it. So you've just
Sure.
posted a article on one of your private blog networks.
That's right.
What do you do after that? What's the next step?
So I can actually go through the whole process. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So basically, when I'm starting up, I basically treat it as if it's a new site. So I go to Firefox or create a new profile, or I use the Chromium, browser that you guys created. So basically treating it as a new account, and with that new account, it would have its own IP address. So I just use a VPN to do that. So as I'm treating it as a new account, I want a new email address. So one of the first things I do is go to Outlook. I'll create an Outlook account, and I'll have a verified number against that. Usually I buy them through you, but it's sometimes in the UK, because I'm in the UK, I'll just buy a kind of disposable phone and buy some SIM cards for the phone and basically get a new number that way.
Okay.
Then I go to, it's kind of a bit of cloak and dagger, isn't it? Then I go to Google, and I'll create a Gmail account. And then once I've created a Gmail account, I'm going to get a Google Plus account and a YouTube account. And you also get a Blogger account as well with that. Then basically, then I take the Gmail account to register accounts on Twitter, Gravatar, Tumblr, Delicious, Digo, Evernote, and other accounts like that.
Gotcha.
So what I make sure I do across all of these accounts is make sure that there's a consistent persona. It's really in line with the training that you provided as well, Chris, because I'll take whatever my site is about. Like, say there's an author, I'll copy the bio and then place it in on all these different social bookmarking accounts. On Google on accounts like Google Plus and I think it's Digo, you can put a list of all your other sites that you're kind of participating in. So again, you're building that trust in Google. Once I've kind of done that, it's time to do the syndication. So you can just to kind of backtrack at this point, if you're using like a WordPress, an SEO plugin like yours, you can go to like settings, then advanced, and then there's an RSS feed tab where you can basically set your attribution link. So a lot of people are worried about duplicate content when you do stuff like this. But Google does expect you to duplicate, to have duplicate content in some places. It's not like a press release. When you write a press release, it goes out to a number of outlets, and you've got your site link in there as an attribution link. They're expecting some form of duplicate content on the web, and again, that's what you're going to get duplicate content with the process, but it's all good. Google are expecting you to distribute your content to a number of different platforms. Then I head over to IFTTT and create myself an account using the Gmail account that I've just set up. And I basically I activate all the services, like the ones I just mentioned. And then then you can set up the IFTTT service. So if if there's a post on your blog, then it goes out to these social properties. It usually doesn't happen in the moment. It usually takes like an hour or so, but that's good enough. And really, that's the process. That's the process I offer you to do this.
Okay, so just to overview on that, basically what you're doing is you're coming on here and you're creating, I guess what they call applets on here, and the ones that you're using on here is stuff like a lot of them are based around having a Gmail account. Hence the reason that you either buy a Gmail account from us or you create your own. And the reason that you're getting it phone verified is that I guess because they would probably ask for it when you create it, right? Otherwise, if they didn't ask for it, you don't need it to be phone verified.
Usually, always, I'm asking to they ask me to verify it, but it's a good way, and it is a good thing in the end because you're showing to Google that you're a legitimate person, sure. And
Good.
So yeah, I'm not. if I can get by without having to verify, that's great. But if I don't, then that's fine as well.
Sure, take the path of least resistance, of course. Okay,
that's it.
And then there's about 12 of these applets are places where you syndicate on here. Is that about right?
That's about right. I've always got that thing in my mind about footprints, and I try to vary them up. So sometimes, example, with Blogger, I'll swap out a Blogger. So I won't set up a webpoint 2 on a Blogger. I'll set it up on maybe WordPress. How you can have the hosted, that hosted account. And instead of potentially Twitter, I'll do Pinterest, just to mix them up a little bit.
Gotcha. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you've got, 12 accounts set up here, and you've got your article on your private blog network. You then syndicate it out. Now, within that article, you've got a backlink pointing to your money site, and then
that's right.
And now that link is now pointing out from these 5 or 6 or 12 or even more of these applets on here that you're syndicating your content on. So it's coming from a variety of places on here. There are on here, as far as I understand, on here there are 120 applets on here. I don't know if all of them are appropriate for syndicating content. Have you looked into that and know about how many of these are that you could syndicate content on?
I've looked at quite a few and just narrowed it down to about 20. 20, mix them up, the 20 most important ones for me. For example, instead of using, for example, Digo, you can use something called Get Pocket. So it's basically the same thing. They've got lots of trust, lots of high authority trust, and yeah, that's kind of a lot of these as well are partners of Google, like with I think Digo. They're like registration partners. So again, it's looking good in the eyes of Google.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you ever use it? How does this affect your private blog network? Does it affect that particular domain? Does it increase the trust flow of it, or I would? Yeah, sure. So, do you know, I've never gone back to look at the, do you know, to see in Majestic, for instance, if the trust flow has gone up. I know sometimes those stats, and they don't always filter through. So the main things that I've kind of looked at is, I realize PBNs are great, but they've got a few weaknesses, you know, like with old links, there's no traffic, typically. Social signals are not good, and, you know, high risk. You've got a high risk of setting up PBNs, you know, especially if you get a manual review. But with this method, it actually helps to solve a lot of those problems. So you're getting new links, you're getting social signals. And what I've actually kind of experimented with as well is trying to actually rank my PBNs and get traffic to them for very, you know, I'll kind of do research around the posts and then just see if I can find some long-tail keywords that could potentially rank for in my niche. I typically try to go for PBNs that are related to my money site, and if I can generate traffic from my PBNs, it kind of negates me having to go for, you know, like tools like crowd search and stuff. So I'm getting traffic to my PBN, and then hopefully, if I get a click through to my main site, that's a good thing as well. Okay, so when you syndicate this content and you syndicate it out, do you get you obviously get a backlink to your money site, but do you also get a backlink back to your private blog network, or could you insert one like courtesy of such and such site?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what I do, because I know some people are worried about duplicate content. I don't think it's an issue with these, but you can have it within IFTTT. You can set an attribution link, so you can basically say, when you're setting up the services to begin with, you can basically say, this post was originally seen on, you know, xyz.com. So you're giving it an attribution link, and you can also set the anchor text in there as well if you wanted to. You know, for the brand of the PBN. Yep. Whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Nice. Okay. Good. So there's now you said you create different buffers on here. So just to explain to other people out there who maybe don't know what a buffer is, it's just another website that's going to basically carry the link on. So for example, instead of going directly from your private blog network and then linking directly to your money site, you would first link from your from your money or from your private blog network to another property, and then within that property, maybe that property just has one link from another time that goes to your money site, but that buffer site is getting maybe a whole bunch of links going back out, increasing the value of that, increasing the trust of that, and therefore increasing that one link out to your site. That's a general gist of what a buffer site is. You mentioned that you use buffer sites or use this as a buffer site. How do you do that?
Oh, sorry, Chris. I actually think I explained myself wrong. So with Google Plus, you can't use IFTTT directly. Can't post from you can't post from IFTTT to Google Plus. So what I do instead is I create a buffer. I don't. It's basically a social basic. It's hard to explain what it is actually. It's basically a social bookmarking tool, I guess, where you can schedule posts and stuff. So basically, what I do is I set up IFTTT to, so every time that I make a post on my PBN, it goes to buffer. And what buffer then does is it posts to Google Plus. It's free to set up. It's buffer.com. Buffer spelled BUFFER and then .com.
Got it. Okay, so buffer.com, it's a separate website that does social posts. Larry, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool on that. Okay, so let's do this. We'll go over some questions. You got time for a few questions? I see a lot coming in on here.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so let's see on here. Okay. Can you guys see my screen okay right now? I'm just showing the ifttt.com site on here with the Discover the Applets on here, 18 applets, 21. You guys can see that okay? Is that right? Nope, slide 1. How is that? That is weird.
Oh.
Okay, let me
Chris,
yeah.
Sorry, I hope you don't mind quickly mentioning, but in terms of results, I've seen my site get out of the sandbox quicker. So, within a few months, I was able to, when I first started created my site, I was able to get out of the sandbox very quickly. It's one of the benefits. I've been able to move a lot of my sites, a lot of my city pages from the mid page 2 to like number 7 on page 1. That's across 6 cities, big cities in the UK, and no indexes yet. No de-indexes on any of my PBNs.
Nice.
So.
Good. Alrighty. Any other benefits that you're seeing? Those are good enough benefits right there.
Well, it's not that I've tried to do this as well, but by promoting on these other channels as well, I never really checked it, but you're almost amplifying your effect. You're amplifying, the post you're writing that could potentially reach a wider audience. I've not seen that effect, but the fact that you're doing it, there's a potential that you could do it. It could happen. That would have main benefits for sure. I've also done this for my main money site, so again, it's very beneficial.
Yeah, I would think so, and extremely safe too for you to do that kind of stuff on that end of it. Syndication is very popular on this end of it. Let's see. I just want to get through some technical difficulties on here. Can everybody see my screen where it says guess on it? What syndication is? It's a black slide on that. Are you seeing that or not? No. Why the heck not? Let me turn off my screen. And for some reason I have the worst technical difficulties on here. Let's see here. If that changed. Welcome slide only.
Yes.
That's finally. Okay, so now people seeing it. Okay, good. All right. Well, that's why we have the replays. So, all right. So with that, let me go through some of the questions on here that we've got on that. How often do you do this? Do you do this every time that you send a backlink to your site from one of your private blog networks? It could be a Web 2.0. On that, it could be from anywhere, right? It doesn't need to be particularly from a private blog network. It could be from a Web 2.0. It could be from another source as well on that end of it. And
that's right.
And we don't advocate, at least in the training and support and stuff. I mean, especially for newer sites that are less than a year old, no more than 1 or 2 backlinks at most per month on that end of it, and maybe up to 3 after you're maybe 4 or 5 months old. It's just Google's really slow to trust. That's just the game that we play with that. So if you were to take, even I would think at that rate, take every link and do this to it and mix up some of the applets or some of the places that it gets syndicated, so it's not always exactly the same thing for some of the backlinks that are coming out, I think it looks pretty god darn safe. What are your thoughts on that? How frequently do you use this?
So I set them up for all my PBNs at the moment. I've had no issue. So when I'm doing posts on my PBN, I don't turn it off. It's always running. It's there for, my original, when I create a post that's linking to my money site, right. It's on, and it's always on. So yeah, I mean, you can mess about with it if you want, but it's just automated. It's on.
Nice.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah. Now I'm being quoted here that social signals are social sites are a complete waste of time. Let me put that in context. What I mean for that is that for your money site, we don't do it any longer. For your money site, if you're trying to create a Twitter for your money site, a Facebook account, particularly for your money site, and you're spending hours upon hours trying to get things phone verified and all that for that, I just want to clear that's a complete waste of time. But if you want to do some syndication on here and syndication of content, obviously that's not a waste of time. And so I just want to distinguish between the two here on that.
I think as well, Chris,
yes.
Sorry, and the good thing about it is you're building up that trust in Google, even for a PBN. Most people don't do anything. I mean, they'll set up maybe, sometimes they just start creating posts and doing a backlink back to the money site, and, they're kind of asking for trouble. In the sense that the PBN is like an island. It's never connected to anything. There's no social buzz around it, and if that PBN gets looked at, it could get, it's a good chance it could get, manually de-indexed from Google potentially.
Good. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap that up then. Mark, I really appreciate you coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule to share with us your syndication and the IFTT site and ways that other people can use it. I saw it immediately as something very safe and a way to not only add credibility and increase the authority of your private blog networks or any source of your backlinks on that end of it, but also add more power to the backlinks that you're actually sending to your site as well. I think it's a great way, and you've given us some examples on here and of how it's taken your sites and helped increase their rankings and stuff like that. So I appreciate your time on that end of it. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so let's move on here. And let's go on here. What do we got next? I know what I got to get back on my slides. Make sure that there we go. Oh, not quite questions and answers. What I want to go over next is on here is I want to go over and update everybody on our case study on here now. Years ago, what was it, back in 2013? Yeah, 2013, 2014, I did share with the kallzu group, back then it was Paper Call Ninjas, one of the niches I was in, just thinking I'll just pull back the curtains, show everything. It ended up becoming one of the most spammed niches on the internet, on that end of it. It still is today. If you get into that same niche, I'm not even going to mention it, if you get into that same niche, then Google has the red flags up, and it will take you twice or 3 times as long to rank because they're just waiting to see are you a spammer or not. So that's why I don't do it, but I'm pretty transparent about everything else. So what we've done here, this is basically what I'm doing with this niche, or my team is doing, is that we're moving up north, and this is module 3 on here. And we're moving up north through California. I started out in San Diego. Started in San Diego, Chula Vista. We added these areas in here, and we started just moving our way up north on here. We finally got San Diego on page 1 just recently. It's been like 5 months. But all these other smaller cities got on either page 1 or 2 like right away. And then we just moved our way up through, and I'll go through, I'll log into my kallzu account. We can take a look at that. And Los Angeles, of course, everyone else goes after Los Angeles, right? But they forget all these other cities on here. All these other cities are like 100,000 or more on here. And you add them up on this end of it. Plus, in addition to that, because our pages, like Inglewood, for example, so let's come down here and take a look at this. And or any, like Santa Monica, we tell you, right, it doesn't need an address. All you need on it is no address. You just put Santa Monica, California on here, and you put the zip codes below it and the phone number on the page. And the area code is 310, okay, which is also shared by Inglewood, right? So on the Inglewood page, all you have, you just at the bottom of your page, again, no address. You just put Inglewood, the zip codes, and a phone number, and then Google knows where that page is supposed to be, and then people who are in Inglewood and are searching for something, whether they type in Inglewood or not, their IP address is in Inglewood, you're going to show up. Even if they type in Los Angeles or something like that, yours will be one of them that the algorithm many times will bring up, because it's like, hey, this place that you're looking for and searching for, locally, they're right next to you. They're in the same city of your IP address, okay? That's how that works, and no one else is, I mean, come on. Who's out there competing in Inglewood, California? It's 100,000, okay, on that end of it. Or you start coming down here, and we got Downey, which is one we just added. We've got a client in there. It's 100,000. You start adding these up, and it really starts to add up on here. Many of them share the same phone number. Look, 310, that's fine. I only need one Twilio number. One Twilio number for this one, that's fine. It's the same area code. So many people, here's another one, I can share the same phone number on here. So many people try to reinvent the wheel here. It's all laid out for you right here, okay? And before this, what you should have done is either hired the person that we've recommended, we've had on previous calls, and we get no cut or any affiliate commission or nothing from that. It's just a good service for the community on that end of it, and she does a good job, so I totally support that. And she'll spin the content for you the way that we recommend that you do it, so that Google will like, know, and trust it, not recognize it as spun content. And you got one good seed article, about 800 words or more. This is all in the course. Get it spun up, boom, then you've got a whole stack of them, right? You got like 200 or 300 of them ready, and you just start zipping them in here. You just start throwing them in these cities on here. And the smaller cities, what happens with these smaller surrounding cities here, right, is that you'll almost, within a week or two, with no backlinks, you'll end up on page 1 or 2. Just purely because of the good, rich content that's on the site. When that starts to happen, what happens next? Real people from these areas will actually start stumbling across your website when they're looking for that service. What does that tell Google about your entire domain? It's like, whoa, you're drawing people to you. There's no greater social proof than people coming and visiting your site from different IP addresses. They're coming from that area. They're visiting your site. They're clicking on it. They're going through it. You can't fake that stuff, folks, unless you're using crowdsource. But this way, it's like free crowdsource because it's on these smaller ones, and it takes your whole domain site and it helps rank these larger cities as well. So, and that's just how simple that process is on here. And it's like, from looking at some of the support tickets, I don't think that's really clear with a lot of people. That's what you need to do on the end of it. And anyways, we're like on page 3 or 4 or something in Los Angeles. Okay, we don't even have a client or nothing there. But the surrounding areas, we do. So let me hop in. Anyways, we started moving up, and now we're up. Now we're moving north, okay? So now we're in the San Jose area, and and I'll show you, I'll log in here. I think we're in Sunnyvale, Mountain View, and I think Fremont so far. And these others where we're working on it. But a lot of people just come in here and they're just like, okay, I'll just do San Jose. No. You take the San Jose population and all these smaller cities around here, almost double the population in San Jose, and understand that the Google algorithm, when someone's in Mountain View and they're in their home and they're typing away and looking for something locally, Google factors into that, hey, we know you're in Mountain View. And we know you're looking for something local. So we're going to try to bring you what you're asking, okay? All right, these are the local, they were so far ahead of the curve when they said, you know what? We're going to create the maps. Everything about this is going to be, it's all local driven. We're going to actually build cars with cameras on it that are going to film all the streets in the world. I mean, they're just so far ahead of it. So that's part of it here. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, so we have now, these are all these in this particular niche on here. And the success of what we're doing here has nothing to do with the niche. And I know some people out there think, oh, it's got to be some mysterious, incredible niche, and that's why they're successful. No. We're successful, and our success grows on this every time I share this with you on the calls, because we're doing exactly what I just said. Okay, it's just a process. I've already got just imagine you've got 400 spun city articles done, like you should have. They're just sitting there, and all you got to do is you just got to add the cities. You just log into here and just pick anywhere. There's nowhere magical about it. Pick anywhere, start anywhere that you want, okay? On that, so let me shrink this down on here so we can get the full picture of this. Hide that. I mean, you could become. I'm going to start in Seattle. Okay, great. Then you're going to hit all these areas on here, okay? All these above 50,000. And I know there's other people that come in. They're like, well, what if I do the smaller cities and then even more smaller ones on here? I'm like, well, we don't do that, and our model works pretty good. Why don't you try our model? It works pretty good. And after you've been successful with that and stuff, maybe you want to test out some smaller cities, even smaller ones than below 50,000. Then you come in here, and then you're just going up. You're going through, here's Seattle. They're moving up Kent, Tacoma. Olympia is another major city on that end of it, and Tacoma is too. So Tacoma, we've got these surrounding areas, and you just start moving across the United States. It's just that simple. Your site's new. How do I define new? Less than a year old. Your site's new. So what you're doing, you're throwing 1 to 2 backlinks to the major cities, not the smaller ones. Okay, it's that simple. Okay. All right. So here it is. Just kind of give you an idea on here. So we come back here, we've got like, I got too many windows open. So we got Oceanside. So let's kind of give an idea. So Oceanside in the last 30 days brought in, it's one of our, $278. Santa Monica, how much is that in the past 30 days? $57. Okay. Pasadena on here, $154. Okay. What else we got? These are some of the newer ones, like who would ever think? Southgate. What does Southgate bring? $104. Who's saying I'm going to rank my site in Southgate? Well, you better on here. Where are we at? San Jose. 147. It just goes on and on. What was this? Mountain View. Where we got Sunnyvale. Okay. So where's my slide on here? Did I get rid of that? All right, so I did have a slide on here, but it has disappeared. So basically, look, if you take this on here, and let me get this out of the way. So look, I should just open the calculator on that end of it. Look, we're in 20 cities, so if we average around $125, on average, some a little bit higher, some a little bit, about $125 per city on here. This is for our niche. Our niche is not a high-end niche. Okay, we're charging around $13 a call straight up. Okay, and around $10 for the email leads that come in. And we get about 85% of the leads that come in are calls, and the other 15% are the email leads. And we just use the kallzu theme, the kallzu software, the kallzu email plugin, all that stuff. And look, you just take that, and you got 50 cities. That's going to be around $6,000 a month. Okay. And do I suggest you do 50 cities? No. We're suggesting you're doing 200, 300, 400 cities. Easy to do, times the 125. I think I might have messed that up. Yeah, it's not that much. So, and this is a very low-end type of, not a high-ticket niche at all. 125, you got 200 cities on that end of it. I mean, that's $25,000 per month. That's just the revenue that's coming in on here. The net worth of what you could sell these websites, I'm not into that, but some people might be, that you could sell these sites after that is at least 20 to 30 times what you're bringing in for the revenue on here. I mean, there's tremendous amounts of money to be made on this end of it. We're not doing, this is like a little side project for us where I have so many other things going on. But this is just how dead simple it is. It really is. It's just a patience game. You're not doing anything crazy. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. None of that stuff. You just go for it. So, okay, really that simple on that. So let's go to turn over questions and answers on that. And let me dive into here, and let's see what we got in here. Larry asks on here, all these rented out. We have other pages that I didn't that aren't showing on there because it's not going to show because we don't have any campaigns because we don't have any clients on it. But we do have some that are coming, and I'll just keep every once a month or whatever. I'll just continuously update, and you'll see this kind of grow and grow and grow from here. Okay. And the thing is that what I see people do, and what I want, one of the main reasons I wanted to show this is because I see people get focused on one city. Like I'm like last week I was on page 4 in Chicago, and this week I'm on page 7, and they're all panicking and freaking out, and I'm like going, why are you not hitting the 20 plus cities around Chicago that are 50,000 above, that we've already mapped out for you? All you got to do is just grab your stack of articles, slap it in there on your website. You don't need an address or nothing. Just follow exactly how we do it in the course. Put the city name, comma, abbreviate the state, and the zip codes we've already provided for you. And most of the smaller cities around Chicago, most of them share the same area codes. You don't got to buy a whole bunch of dollar Twilio numbers or any of that kind of stuff, okay? And it'll start bringing traffic. It'll make everything start ranking a lot easier on that end of it. So the thing is you just keep going out. I recommend that you do 1 to 2 larger cities, including all the smaller cities, exactly how we map out there in Module 3, every month. And you start just stamping them out. Boom, 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 boom. And that's exactly what we're doing here with this. Exactly what we teach is exactly, you see the case study that we're doing on here. So, all right. What niche is that? Adam was late on the call. Adam, I already went over that earlier. Not going to share that. I've done that in the past, thinking that, this is always recorded on here. Okay. Do you eventually rank for larger cities naturally because of the traffic you're getting to the smaller ones? Colin, that's a good question. You won't rank in larger cities without any backlinks, but because the smaller cities rank basically on page 1 or 2 on their own, most of the time, it depends on the niches and stuff, but they will rank way faster than the larger ones because the competition is not there. You just don't have it. And Google likes to see that you're bringing traffic to your domain, okay, to your master domain, and it gives more credibility. So you will rank a lot easier in the larger cities with a lot less backlinks than your competition will. Okay, and the way I think, this is just a hunch, but the way I think Google looks at it is that you're adding regular content, and the way that we teach is the content is at least 85% unique. Okay, it's obviously readable and all that kind of stuff. Just exactly how we teach in the course. And Google's like, man, you keep adding more content, more cities, because that's what a good local site would do, right? People don't go to local sites to become educated. They come on there to buy. They're looking for a particular service. So don't ever confuse those statements like content is king. That's a pretty broad statement. What does that mean? Well, that doesn't apply to us. Content is not king. We're not like, oh, we're going to add a blog and add a whole bunch of content to this site on here. That's one strategy that you can do that we talked about with a bill, but that's totally different on that end of it, and that will definitely help you out. But for this one, this works very well. Doing that, you're adding the content. The content has more cities. Because of the nature of the way that we teach it, you're going to be ranking on page 1 and 2. You're going to get some people crawling on it. They're like that. Okay. Yeah, Fremont is huge. Exactly. Yeah, but a lot of people don't look at Fremont. Yeah, no, it is. It's actually, I don't know what the population is, well over 100,000 on that. No, we don't do any ad revenue on that end here. No, those are our revenue. Yeah, the numbers on that, Wes, what we did differently on this site is that we gave really, it's just a different strategy. Look, we have our other niches that it's literally gross 7 figures per month, okay? And we haven't done these strategies. So what I'm about to tell you, don't think it's like, oh, that's it. That's the one thing. That's what I'm missing. That's the secret. It's not that, okay? But what we did here is just a little bit different, was that we gave exact amounts for our leads. So like $14.35. And then we tested with another client. Okay, so this is going to be $13.87 on that end of it. And we found a little bit less pushback, but not noticeable. But we're going to continue with it. Instead of saying the leads will be exactly $15.00, we thought in a meeting, and someone else brought it up, I thought, it's not going to hurt to try it. We'll give them more of an exact amount. It's kind of like when you go into Google AdWords and you end up being finally billed for each of your clicks. Very rarely are they just exactly $2. Sometimes it's $2.53. And we wanted to kind of be the same way to appear that we have an exact, precise method, and we know exactly what these leads are worth. So that's the reason for the numbers on that. But good question. I didn't want to bring that up because I didn't want to confuse anybody. Yes, we've got this in 20 cities so far, but that's not the reason why we're successful. Okay. If you want to do that, I don't think it hurts, but that's not the sole reason. SEO to rank these pages, simple. We don't get crazy with the SEO. 1 to 2 backlinks to the major cities only, the large ones. That's it. Especially when your site is new. I define new as 1 year. And we're just using private blog networks, Web 2.0s, and the third source that we use is, and this is all available to everybody in the membership, right? Everybody on this call should know that you get all the Web 2.0s, all the private blog networks, and the backlinking community, the Exchange community, the Facebook group that we've got there to leverage even more backlinks for less work. Is you can order now. Not, I want to be very clear about this. You can order from us, and we'll be happy to give it to you. Majestic backlink reports, not for your per city. That's a waste of time. But for the 1 or 2 national or very large regional competition sites. That's going to bring you a list of at least 1,000, if not 5,000 other backlinks. Locally, it's a waste of time. Okay, so the national ones, and then you can go through their backlink profile that you order from us, and you can find. And I've got other webinars that I've done examples of those, and you just go through those and you figure out which ones that you can get backlinks from. Because if it's working for them, it's going to work for you on that. And you can end up getting, you can usually end up scraping around 10% of their backlinks from there and copying them. They can be anything from citations, and then you'll learn a lot of really interesting stuff about your niche. You may find one of the backlinks on that that's got like a trust flow of 50 or something, and you go to it and you can clearly see where the link is and everything. I'll show you how to find all that stuff, and then you can contact them and you can find out, hey, it's it's $200 a year to put a backlink here, and it's got a trust flow of like 50 or something. That may be something you may want to consider doing. You'll uncover stuff like that. So that's it. Yeah, the software is kallzu for tracking the pay-per-call. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, one of the keys is picking a good niche, but that's why I want to review, after everyone's gone through Module 1, I offer to review over your top 3 niches as I describe in there. And that way it ensures that you're not going to go off on the wrong foot, okay? I mean, there's someone just today that did a fantastic job of just incredible data and even extra data that we went in there. But the person, quite frankly, fell in love with the data gathering process when all you need is just 2 bits of information. Video zero exercises and a little bit of the keyword tool just to get the search volume. That's it. That's all you need. Video zero will tell you everything about the niche. Do you realize that the video zero exercises, myself and the head people on my company, we use that on a weekly basis for everything. There's no keyword tool, no piece of data, none of that kind of stuff that can even compare to Video Zero. Video Zero is the most important tool. I don't even think you could make a software to replicate it. It's not like that. What you're looking at when you realize this is that Video Zero exercises will tell you exactly the keywords per page. The exact keywords per page. There's no keyword tool in the world that can tell you that. Okay? None. Zippo. And it's what you're looking at when you're doing videos exercises is you're literally looking at sites on page 1 that have probably spent years and thousands upon tens, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 to get their site to rank there, and all the hours of research, and you're just literally just Video Zero just reverse engineers that. So you got to reinvent nothing. Nothing. You know exactly what, and it's there because Google loves it. So it's confirmed by Google. It's not some separate tool over here that says, oh, these are all the fancy keywords. All these keyword tools, all these keywords, a bunch of just horse crap. For SEO, they mean nothing. You just need a little bit of verification that it's got enough searches in larger cities to make it worth your while, and that's it. Other than that, that's like 10% of your time. Everything else is Video Zero. It'll tell you everything. Services, the keywords, how many pages per city do you need on that, and about the look and feel of your site. Do you need a gallery? Is this niche the same across different regions of the country? Is it duplicatable? Can you realistically duplicate this across 200 cities? Because this is a numbers game, people. You know, you make $100-ish per city, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. You don't have time to be going in there and like, okay, I'm going to readjust this and make it special just for each of my client in each of my cities. I mean, I guess you could do that. You could. It's not what we do. You could do that, like prices and all that kind of stuff. But I'd be charging a setup fee and stuff for that because it's just not duplicatable on that. So, anyways, that's enough of the Video Zero. Okay. Awesome. So here we go. So Sue wrote on here, said she finished My first site with 4 cities a couple of weeks ago, and my client got a $500,000 job that will take him 2 years to complete. He's ecstatic. Congratulations, that's awesome. Out of it. That's amazing. Good job. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. Okay, so how is the domain? Exact match domain on here, keyword and domain. I cover that in extreme detail in the course. I'll tell you right now, exact match domains are out. Don't do them. Always use a .com. Make it look brandable. If you can fit in one main keyword that kind of, it's not really a keyword, it just kind of describes what your site is about, right? So you might be, you might be in the plumbing niche. So you might be, the plumbing pros, the plumbing experts, the 24/7 plumbing experts, something like that. It's not a direct keyword on that end of it, but it's like, okay, so that's what they do and they're pros at it. Okay, got it. Or if you're in someone should be able to look at your domain and tell what niche it is, but it's not keyword stuff. Google hates that. All right. So 1-800-word article can produce, yes, Weiss, that's correct. 1-800+ word article, well written, can produce 400. Yes, the way we teach it can, you bet. And then you just got them all done. You got them done, you just start stamping the stuff out. Okay, question. I'm really having trouble selecting a niche on here. I spent more than 34 hours in video 0. The video 0 is just not sinking in then. Still can't decide on the niche. Then all you need to do is it's very high competition. Don't even look at competition. We don't care about competition. It does not matter with what we do. Because the competition here does not matter at all on here, not at all. So don't even look at that. Your video 0 exercise. If you're having issues with that, then all you need to do is just list out what do you got. You must have, if you've spent so many hours, you must have a list of 10 or 20 possible niches, right? Just send those in. I'll quickly look at it and go, no, yes. Continue with those 5 yeses. Okay, shorten that up. So make sure you're not going down the wrong street. All right. Do you sell your leads in blocks, or do you bill them weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? What do you recommend? Good question. On the leads on the end of it, we always pre-build. So we pre-bill our leads on that. So it's kind of like a phone, and the kallzu software does it automatically, makes it super easy. So you just come in and you're like, okay, it'll be whatever, $12 a lead. We need you to top up your account to $500. Once it gets, and you can set all this up in kallzu, it's all customizable. Once it gets below $100, then you're going to get a text and an email every day with a link to the invoice, and you just pay it and top it back up to $500. Is that cool? Great, that's how we run it on that. So that's how we do it on that end of it. You can also do a flat sale, like it's also set up that way. If you just want to charge X amount of dollars per month, that's okay too on that. But that's the way we do it. Yeah, and that's exactly why. So that's exactly why retail pricing do like the $4.79, $9.97, so like $5 or $10 on that. The odd numbers, yeah. There's some psychology behind that for sure. How many PBNs and Web 2.0s are you using in the case study specifically? I don't have a specific answer, but I can tell you right now, 20 cities on that. So we can just reverse engineer this real quickly. So we've got 20 cities, but the only ones we're sending backlinks to are just 3. San Diego, because that's the main one. Los Angeles, because that's the main one, it's not the smaller ones, and San Jose. Okay, those are the only ones, and we do just exactly what we teach. So let's just assume 2 backlinks from those. That says 2 backlinks per month. I think we started this. I'm really bad with dates. I don't know, something like October or December or something, and I want to say like the 10th month of 2016 on that end of it. So each month there's going to be 2 going out, 3 total there. So those are a combination of Web 2.0s and private blog networks. But that gives you a kind of a general idea, not a tremendous amount on that. But I didn't leverage the kallzu backlinking private Facebook group, just because I didn't want anybody checking out my niches on that, because people always want to know, and then they just automatically, they're just like, okay, I'm just going to not do any other niche in the world, I'm only going to do the one he's doing, and that's obviously going to be a mistake for everybody. So that's why I don't use that. But if you use that, then we recommend no more than 5 outbound backlinks per either a Web 2.0 and a private blog network domain. And you could leverage that. So you can have 1 backlink going to your site from that private blog network, and then you got 4 more links there that you could exchange. And then you could get 4 other links coming from different properties. So that's a really powerful way to do that. So you can make it a lot easier on that. Tell me about the domain. What do you need to know about the domain? Video 0, question mark. Video 0, it's the first 4 videos and the last 2 videos in module 1. Yeah, video 0, like the number 0, spelled with a Z. Video 0. Video 0. So video 0 is in module 1, folks. Module 1. All cities manually or use something like, it's all manual. It's all manual on here. Yeah, video 0 is, again, module 1. Module 1, kallzu SEO. First, there's video 0A, video 0B, video C, and D, and then the last 2 videos are just another angle and different way of looking at video 0. Video 0 is so easy. Maybe I don't do a good job of explaining it on there, but I think it's so simple. I think people really, especially if you've been in SEO a long time, it's like everyone falls in love with you. They all feel like they got to have some kind of special, backlinking tool on here, like Majestica or Href or Moz, or they're all out there to sell you some kind of tool. Okay, and yes, the data is there, but the bottom line is you got a backlink, you got a reverse engineer. You don't need any tools to do that. Just video 0 will tell you. It'll tell you everything. No one wants you to know that, because then it's like, oh, then I guess my software is useless. I guess you can't pay me the $150 a month to do my software. No, you can't, because I don't need it on that. How do you contact support? We're there 7 days a week. Support at kallzu.com. Support at kallzu.com. Okay, so Glenn writes on here, I have 1 client already for a master domain site. Congratulations. I'm still building the site structure. Okay. Make sure when you're building your site structure, when you say building on here, that you follow the instructions in the course. You don't want to have like 5 or 6 pages that you're working on, and it's like takes a week or 2 to finish them, they're kind of half done and stuff, because they get indexed right away. And it's very hard to get re-indexed again with the proper full content on that. In other words, you don't want to build a page and have it like, I teach this in the course, just in simple ways, just WordPress, just password protect the page that you or your VA is working on, have it get 100% correct, then select no more password, so that when it gets indexed in its pure, exact form that you want. Okay. Anyways, just saw that in there. This is not for local service. Okay. It's something that we can offer nationwide. Okay. So something offer nationwide. Do we still need to have unique phone numbers for every city? It depends. Video 0 will tell you on here when you type in, the core of your niche, whatever, everyone's got a core keyword. It's the keyword that brings in the most searches. It's usually, and for local, it's easy. It's just describes the service. Dentist, orthodontist, plumber, towing company, or whatever it is, plus a city name, and check it out across 4, 5, 8 cities. Type it in, and whatever it is, plumber San Diego, plumber Seattle, plumber Houston, plumber Miami, plumber Boston. Got a whole bunch of tabs open, right? Check it out, whatever your name of your niche is, and then look on there. Are there in the Google 3-pack, are there businesses in your niche showing up there? If there is, then they have a local phone number. Then you're going to need one for every single city. Alrighty. Yeah, it's recorded. It's always recorded. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the password, good. I get phone numbers from, well, the phone numbers, you just log into your kallzu 2 software, and then you just, hopefully when you've set that up, when you first got set up with your account, then the first instruction would give you there, it's automated, is to set up a Twilio account with that, and then you just order your numbers through our kallzu software to Twilio, and it just pulls them over. And you just pay Twilio, whatever. We don't get any cut of that. Okay. Yep. Okay. Cool. You're welcome. Okay, so question here. I don't know if I can answer this or not. Chris, I'll do my best. What about using IFTTT to syndicate your cities on your social profile of your main sites? That would probably violate the 2 or 3 links per month main rule. But if they're syndicated, it looks good. There's only one way to know. That's to test it out. I would just test it out in one area and find out how that goes. And I'd go slow, especially if your site is new. You want to go slow. The thing is that, look, anyone who's been in the SEO game for a while has seen this over the years. It's even more so today. Google just takes its own sweet time to index you and get you ranking. And there's nothing stranger and more suspicious than a brand new site all of a sudden get a bunch of links to it. Okay, that's why we advocate super slow on here. AdWords. Is there any risk to starting AdWords for a master domain site to get the ball rolling? No, absolutely not. Jason, that's a good question. On this particular case study that I'm doing here, this is just purely SEO. At some point, maybe we'll see, or we're just gonna. I just want to roll this out. It's 100% pure SEO, and then we'll layer on top of that at a later date paid advertising. But for right now, it's just purely SEO. There's some huge advantages with using starting with SEO first on that, and the SEO first on that end of it, or not the SEO, the paid traffic, and going over and working with William and his group is smart, because you're going to know exactly, it's not going to take you very long, you're going to know exactly the best and the highest buying keywords possible, and then you can take those, and then you're going to do your SEO. And there's no keyword tool in the world that will give you those, by the way, none. It's only going to be through paid traffic. That doesn't mean the video 0 and what I teach in module 1 doesn't work, because it does on here. It will just add another layer of keywords on top of it, that you can only get that kind of intel by doing some paid traffic on that end of it. And the paid traffic on that is, you're welcome, on that, paid traffic on that, particularly with Google, not pay-per-click, but pay-per-call. There's a whole different, it's like night and day. So for example, an average plumber, like a plumber word, a good juicy one that brings in lots of searches, maybe just like plumber plus a city name or something. In most cities, it's going to cost you around $20 per click. Now, on average, you're going to get, the plumber is going to get at least 4 clicks before they actually get someone to call them. Someone will just see the ad, they'll click on it, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go and do something else. Boom, $20 right there. It's going to happen 4 times. That's $80 before they get a live call. A plumber in almost all local businesses, business only starts once they can talk to somebody over the phone and they schedule an appointment or close a sale. It doesn't happen on the site. This is not an e-com site, okay? And so they need the call. So understand that pay-per-click for a plumber is $20 on average for a good keyword. They're going to need to get 4 clicks to get that actual call to actually be a chance to do business. Otherwise, they're just getting clicks. That's $80 for a call, okay? Now you do Google AdWords pay-per-call, not click, and it's going to be around $3 for a call. Okay, you see the magic there? Yeah. If you have any questions about that in your SEO, just contact our support at kallzu.com. Okay. All right, are we on the screen here? Okay. Any recent guidelines results from the schema makeup? I definitely recommend schema. We have a schema section in there. Abby's done it. There's no way it can hurt. It literally helps the search engines identify with no error whatsoever what this page is about and where it belongs locally. It's a really good idea. I didn't add that in there, but I figured you're going through the course, that's what you need to do. Yes, Jace, when you are, exactly. You don't do this on a master domain site because the thing with what I'm talking about is 2 sources of traffic, 2 sources of income, organic and paid. Now, the paid on that, it's the ugly site because no human being sees it. It's really just for the Google bot, okay? So you're not, but you're still, what they're doing is that people are on some kind of mobile device and it's literally growing every day. Look, there was a period in time not too long ago, literally a few years ago, where it was like, I don't feel real comfortable putting my credit card online and buying something. I'll call and do it. Those days are freaking long gone, man. Now, if you got a call to make an order, people are like, forget that. I'll just go online and do it. Okay? Look, and the same with searching for local services on your phone. Today, it's becoming almost a rarity for someone to be on their laptop or on their PC, their home computer, and searching for something locally. Most people are doing it from their phone. Most people are doing everything by their phone. I mean, wake up. The entire world now and people's full attention and consciousness is being directed where? To their phone. It is life. It's how you connect to everything. And so it's no wonder that when people are now looking for something locally and it pops up on their phone, that now Google has the option, hey, just tap here to call them right now. Pay per call. And more people are doing that. So you don't need a website to do that, but you have the phone number. It's a second source of leads and income for your clients, for you. I'm wondering if putting your city and service links in a sidebar or footer is okay on here. Just do it the way we do it in the course. I know sometimes I say that. I'm totally open to creativity and new ideas, but when we've got a system that is totally working, and I'm totally open to ways to improve it, like we were playing around with the prices, right? So, and we're always looking for ways to improve it. But the core of the course and everything works on here, and we get a lot of people coming in with all kinds of fancy ideas and stuff, ways they can do things differently. Hey, all for it. But first make this work, right? Make this work first for you, bring in an income with it. Then if you want to get all crazy and reinvent the wheel here, go for it and share the results. But before you get there, just follow it. Just follow it. After that, kick the teacher's butt in the ass. I mean, kick the teacher's ass. Kick my ass on here. Go for it and change things up. But you know what? It's not there. Thank you from friend on that end of it. So no real secrets for ranking so many sites. No, there's no. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Sorry to disappoint you. Just do it not one city at a time and keep going. Well, yeah, I guess it's one city at a time, but you do it in clusters. Like it's like this month I'm going to do San Diego and all the surrounding cities around San Diego. That's what I'm doing this month. Next month I'm going to move my way up. I'm going to go for the LA area. That may take you 6 weeks to 8 weeks, okay? Because it's so huge, right? And you just work your way up. And San Francisco's another huge area too. And then just start working your way across the United States, or start somewhere else. It's a huge marketplace. By the end of months on here, you're going to have hundreds upon hundreds of cities ranking. Some of them bringing in $50, some of them bringing in 400, some of them bringing in. It all adds up, man. All right, Simon, that's a great question for kallzu, or support at kallzu.com. All righty here. What do we got going on here? We're doing good on time. I'll go about 10 more minutes on here. We don't want to make this too long just for everybody. We're well over an hour and a half at this point, and people just. Although, how many people are still on the call? Well, a lot. Okay, cool. I'll keep going, no problem. I'm currently training my virtual assistant to take over my AdWords paper called Stuff, so I can add in my SEO to drive leads but I haven't started with the master domain site yet. What is the bare minimum I should have completed with my master domain site before Thailand to make sure I can implement the strategies that you teach there? Thanks. Okay. So, yeah, can't wait for Thailand. Can't wait to meet you in Thailand. I'm glad you're coming out. It's good. It's really good. It'll be a fantastic experience. And all the people that you meet there, too. It takes a different type of person to be able to say, hey, never been in Thailand. Maybe I don't even have a passport. I'm going to get my passport. I'm buying some tickets to some strange land I've never been to. So, here you go. William just finished it. I'm behind a little bit, but we're going to be sending out via video and some written text on the things you want to have prepared before you come to Thailand on here. So until those come out, just continue with the course that you've got. I want to add one thing about your VA taking over your AdWords stuff. Just make sure that you know how to do it first really well. Ideally, either your VA has experience with AdWords and you have some good experience too, and then you can pass the baton off, and then you can always go back and double check and triple check what's going on a daily basis. Spend 5 minutes of your time doing that. Have some key performance indicators on that so that you know that the ship is headed in the right direction. Because no one will ever care as much as you. You have to McDonaldize it. You have to create systems in place on that end of it. You do not, I'm not saying that you are, this is really a general just advice from my things that I've made many mistakes in. You can, I'll tell you something that doesn't work. You hire somebody and then you just hand them the course and say, here, read, watch this. If you have any questions, contact support at kallzu.com. That ain't going to work, okay? It just doesn't work on that. It would take, you'd have to get 1 in 1,000 people could be able to do that. You have to know you have to know your company, and you have to become a practitioner of what your company does, better than anyone else in your company. And only then can you create systems, processes, and key performance indicators to make sure that everyone's on the right step on here. Look, there's all kinds of people that just lose all their money. I mean, I can't think of any. I'm thinking Johnny Depp is one of them. He had like $300 million. He lost it all. Michael Jackson, rest in peace. He lost all his money. All kinds of other celebrities and stuff out there. And the reason is because they just took all their money and they just handed it over to an accountant, and they said, you take care of everything for me. And they just lost track of everything. And it was a combination of losing track of everything and other people swindling them out there. You can't let that happen. You have to McDonaldize your company, your process on here. I'm going to experiment with the online booking to reserve technician for a small fee. Okay. Then send the lead to companies as they reduce their fee. Okay. Sounds good. Keep us updated on that. Let's see here. And about the link structure, you didn't finish it. The link structure. The link structure for the site is in the course. It's super, super simple on that. I can just type in one link structure, and it describes the entire structure. I'll do it right on the screen right now. This is how you do everything. Let me increase the text on here. Let's try a little bit larger. So it's just simply HTTP // oops. And then your just site, right? .com. Ready for this? It's just the state, or if you're in Europe, whatever's equivalent to your state or boroughs or whatever you call them. I'm sorry, I don't know. So it's like Arizona AZ, just abbreviation, and then your keyword, just your big juicy one, okay, and then the city. That's it. The whole country right there. Boom, you're done. Everything on that. That's it. That's all that you do. And you can look in as a module 3 on here. We've got 3 or 4 sample live sites that are up that you can click through, and you'll see this exact structure here. That's it. So you just come in here. This would be Arizona. This would be keyword on here. So it might be I don't know. So it's just a plumber, right? Plumber dash, and then you're gonna say Phoenix, right? And then the next, stretch this out here, and then the next one on here is simply going to be, you just copy, and I'm going to paste this down here. Same keyword, everything, and now I'm just going to start the surrounding areas, which I don't even need to think, I don't even need to look in a map, I just look inside the course on here, and then I'm going to do Gilbert, right? And then I'm going to come, and I'm just going to insert in here what? I'm going to grab off that stack of papers, or you want to visualize it that way, and I'm going to insert the spun articles, which I've already have, 200 or 300 of them just sitting waiting for me. And I'm going to come in here, and boom, now I'm going to open up another one. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here, and what's another surrounding city in there? It's Mesa, right? And you just continue that way. It does not take that long to do. It's really easy. Okay, hope that helps. And then you start, anyways, that's all I'll say there. Okay. Cool. That's the diagram right there. That's it. Don't overcomplicate this. But who's calling in here? Let me ask you a question on that. This is never mind. I don't want to sidetrack on that. Should the spun articles contain the city name and the state name? Absolutely. That's all covered in the article, in the training. Structure, but they need interlinks. I cover that in there. There's no complicated interlinks. The interlinks are on the side of the page. Right here. Let's just pull up one of the sites. This is available to you inside the course. And it's a tattoo, One Spot Tattoos, right there. It's one of our sample sites. Let's take a look at the interlinking structure on this. Yeah, okay. So where's the interlinking structure for this page on here? Again, I'm not going to cover everything because I cover this in the course. Okay, so with the interlinking structures right here. Oh, look, Florida. This is the interlinking structure right here to the other states. That's it. Okay, this links to everything else. These link on here. So we go to California. On here, and the site is just a sample site, right? So let me find you like a recent post. Now these are our posts on here. These are these are your service posts. I call them service posts. It's kind of confusing. They can be pages on here. You see down below here, there's our interlinks right here. Right there, there's our interlinks, and here's our other ones along the side, on the right-hand side here. Okay, that's it. All of our sites are built exactly like that. I know, it's not complex. When my inner pages are being indexed and not my home page, how long should you wait before pushing hard to get an index? You have to wait. Go into Google Webmaster Tool and ask Google Webmaster, dear Google Webmaster, oh mighty, oh powerful, please index my home page, and there's a place that you can do it. Okay? But nothing crazy. Do I also build out near me sites? No, I don't. No, there's no near me sites on that. Where do you write different articles for each city on each city page? Every single city page has it on that, and it's exactly how we describe in Module 3. Okay. Can you also go into the Webmaster Tools and select, yes, fetch Google, exactly. So you go in there and you can fetch as Google on that, and they will, and that's the best and safest way to get your site indexed, especially as brand new. Don't start sending a bunch of stuff to it to get it indexed. Just get the Google Webmaster Tool. That's what Google wants you to do. You submit it. Google's trying to help you out. Hey, can you fetch this and index this? Google knows now. They'll go out and do it. Usually, literally, I mean, there's many people that post like, hey, I just did this, and like 12 hours later it was indexed. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Just relax. Just continue on that end of it. Interlinking main suburbs, no. It's too complex, man. Too complex. We're doing it right now. Anchor text links. Of course we do anchor text links. But again, I'll go over that very detailed in the course. The vast majority of your links going back are going to be like just your URL. Just purely, they call that a naked backlink, just your URL. Click here. Check out this. This is a good site. Go here. This is a great plumbing site. Go over here. Very rarely will you use a nice, good old, juicy, keyword-rich one. Just limit those. I give some percentages and do that, but it's when in doubt, just limit it to very, very, very little. And I go over that again in great detail in the course. How long was your case study before you started seeing the revenue? I'm not good with dates, but it was like, it's around September, October, something that we started this project. And now the site's bringing in, I don't know, I'll go back and look, at least a couple $1,000s per month on that end of it. Where is it? Something close to that. We just go to all. We've had some ups and downs. That's the way you're going to go. Let's see if that works. I have to log back in. Oh, here, I do that all. So yeah, almost around 3,000. There's some fluctuation. So you got fluctuation here in the months on here. So, let's go back to, I guess we'll keep this other side up on here. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and wrap that up on here. I'll grab these last two on here. Inner case study niche, using local clients or affiliate. This is local clients, SEO, local clients only. on that end of it. We don't, this is not a case study like what William does. William does his, and he specializes case studies on the, I think he's currently using affiliate offers still on that. In fact, I know he is. And he'll be transitioning over and sharing that with you, with going from affiliate to customers, which you're going to, you're going to increase your profits by quite a bit, but you also increase your responsibilities. But if you price it right and everything, you don't have a bunch of, you don't like price it to the absolute maximum so that they have to count every single call that comes in and that kind of stuff, then it's just going to be much more cruise control. The best kind of client is the one that pays all the time and never calls you. Okay. Alrighty. What is the link to purchase if we do submit something to customer service? Not quite sure, Dan, about that, but if you have any questions, I'll just put this in the chat box or friend up. If any kind of questions I didn't answer or you're unsure of, it's always available. I'll send it out to everybody, support@kallzu.com. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up there. It's almost 2 hours long, so I think that's plenty long enough. I hope you all appreciated that. There was some really good content given by Mark. Mark, thank you so much for your time to coming on and sharing that. I think it's a nice, safe way to add a little bit more juice to your links on the end of it. And just, I hope also trying to emphasize about just how really this is kind of slow and steady, dead simple way to do this. And I hope that every couple of weeks or month or so that our case studies just continue to demonstrate that on here. And just a reminder on that end of it that we're all connected in some ways. With the scientific study I was sharing with earlier, the results, actually several of them over the last 80 years, it clearly shows that your health, your weight, your happiness, your income level is all directly related to your environment, your friends, even your friends' friends. 70% chance. Friends that you don't even know. Even if your friend is fit, but your friend's friend is obese, there's just 17% chance you will become. It's really bizarre. But it's straight across the board with every kind of aspect of your life. So guard that. Guard what you let into your life, and take all the toxic people and stuff out of it ASAP on the end of it. Alrighty, that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.